Hey, what's up, good people? It's Jay Ray, the co host of Q Points, and I wanted to come to you because there are two really important ways that you can support our show. One is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. The other thing that you can do is you can visit us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Podchaser, and you can leave us a star rating. Please rate us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, you can actually leave us a written review. It's not required, but it really does help to spread the word about the show, and it helps people to discover it as they're looking for new podcasts to listen to. We're always appreciative of you supporting Q Points. We thank you so much for all that you've done for us so far, and enjoy the show.
And welcome back to Q Points, dropping the needle on Black music history. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III, and we are in the same room.
We are in the same, look at that. And it's not just any room. Is there a proper name for this studio?
The Legends office.
The legendary office. I'm not going to tell you where we're at exactly in the city of Atlanta, but just know this is where a lot of history has been made. There are historical artifacts in here that we are going to talk about specifically for this episode of the show. But first and foremost, J. Ray, it's a pleasure to see you in person.
Yes, I made it safely from backwoods Virginia.
J. Ray was in a sundown town, y'all. Like, did you hear the siren?
I didn't hear the siren.
Okay.
If I heard the siren, I would have been like, "Oh my god!" But I will say this: I was in a very small town. Shout out to the HIV is not a crime conference. Mm-hmm. I was there. I had a panel discussion.
Okay.
But it was in a very, very small town in Virginia. And my biggest concern the whole time I was there is, what do people who live here do? There was nothing to do.
I'm sure they go mudding. I'm probably going to get canceled for this. They probably go mudding, mm-hmm. and they get very predisposed to a lot of garbage rhetoric from the right.
That's definitely a thing. I definitely saw a lot of interesting T-shirts,
bumper stickers,
the whole 9 yards.
I'm sure there were a lot of flags waving outside.
All of the above. Yeah. Yes. And I have not been to a place in a very long time mm-hmm. where you were hard pressed to find. Like, I was looking for the Black people.
Yikes.
I found them, mm-hmm. but they would be just like,
sprinkles.
1 or 2 here and there.
Nah.
But they laid out the red carpet for all of the attendees at this conference. The school, which was a school, Emory and Henry is the name of the school. It was a lovely campus. The folks who worked there were amazing. And so, yeah, I made it here to Atlanta, flew on down here, and now I'm back here in the A.
That's what's up. We're so glad you made it safely.
Yes.
I'm sure all the viewers and the listeners are glad that you were here safely as well. But speaking of which, J. Ray, our YouTube subscribers have been popping recently. Please let the listener that's listening right now that hasn't subscribed, let them know what they're missing and how they can keep in contact with us.
Yes. So definitely, folks, make sure that wherever you are tuning into Q Points right now, hit the subscribe button, and also do us a solid and share it with the folks. We see folks that are in the chat. Go ahead, just hit that share button and let folks know that you are tuning into Q Points wherever you are. So if you're on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitter, you can just go ahead and hit the retweet button. We would really appreciate it. You can also make sure that you subscribe to Q Points the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts as well. And if you want to go a step further, you can become a member and become a Q Points Insider by visiting our website at qpoints.com and clicking the subscribe button. And if you become an Insiders Max member, you get all this back end stuff. This is show number 104.
Man.
So
104.
104. And we only keep 12 weeks of shows active for video on the platform. So you get access to all them other shows and all types of other stuff too. And please, you can shop our store at store.qpoints.com and you can join our mailing list. So stay in touch with your boys.
Absolutely. So aside from that, J. Ray, what we've been keeping up with I know here in the city of Atlanta alone, there has been a lot going on. This past week, Janelle Monáe has had several listening parties for her album.
Yep.
And just a lot of stuff has been going on. But let's specifically talk about what are they in for this episode, this show. I mean, because there's a reason why we are here in this iconic studio right now.
Absolutely. So the main topic of the night, which we will get to fairly quickly, is we're going to talk about the career of Brandy. I want to set some expectations, though.
Okay.
Want to set some expectations. We are going to kind of cover a finite area of her career.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We'll probably land somewhere like 2001 because Brandy has a really chocked full career, but really what we want to talk about is how she became this, right? So we're going to kind of cover that era. So don't get mad because we ain't talk about the Human album or the 211 or, you know, all of that stuff. We recognize
we know it's important.
We know it's important. She has bops for decades, but
Absolutely.
we're covering we don't have all night. So we got some stuff we need to cover. So I want to talk about that. So our main topic is going to be Brandy. But before then, we got a bunch of
some random topics just off the head. We're going to chop it up about Tyler the Creator.
Yes.
And we gotta bring Keke Palmer into the conversation as well, because that's Keke Palmer.
That's Keke, baby.
And what was the other thing that we? I guess I should look at my notes.
No, we're talking about Juvenile, the Essence Fest.
Listen, okay, let's just get to it.
Yes,
this man right here, he called it. He absolutely called it. If you were tuning into However Karma, both of us kind of raised the eyebrow because we noticed, Juvenile noticed, and Juvenile spoke up on his social media and basically said to the people at Essence, how y'all gonna come to Essence Fest, celebrate 50 years of hip hop, and not call on Juve the Great, Juvenile, to be a part of the already magnificent lineup?
Yep.
And gosh darn it, if J. Ray did not call it during that episode. And what did you say, J. Ray?
So as we were having the conversation, I decided to go to Juvie's Twitter.
Right.
And I was on the Twitter and I said, well, things might have changed,
right?
Because the tweet was there and the tweet is no longer there. And then we had this kind of fun exchange, like, you know, things change. You never know. And turns out, was like the next day?
The very next day. I say, you called it. You called it. J. Ray called it. Juvenile is on the lineup for Essence Fest 2023. Wait, is this 2023 or 2024?
This is 2023.
23. I'm gonna look. Time is flying by so fast. But yes, for Essence 2023 to celebrate 50 years of hip hop, and it's only right. I kind of want to be there because I want to see the crowd when I know he's going to have a band backing him.
Yes.
I want to see the moment when he drops the beat for Slow Motion.
Oh,
because baby, I know all the sundresses are going to be swaying. The fists are going to be up in the air. Everybody, it's going to be a great time. I wish I could. Now that I would love to see in person.
Yeah, I would love to see it in person. And I'm also happy that Juvie is speaking up for his contribution and
Absolutely.
for himself and for his legacy,
Yep.
and make this a note for artists, right? It's okay to remind people that you are here and that you're dope and that you're available to do this because you've done so much great work. So, yeah, shout out to him for like, listen, I'm letting the folks know y'all coming to my city and I'm here.
Listen, you got to come through me to get through to New Orleans,
Mhm.
down to the New Orleans. So shout out to Juvenile for that. And really to the whole city of New Orleans and the
Mhm.
hip hop community in New Orleans. You all won big time just now.
Absolutely.
Real quick, the people are
The
popping in
people
the
are
chat.
popping in. We  got Mr. Al
Pete,
P.
listen, talking about, and this is so funny that Al is in the chat and is part of the conversation, because what we're going to talk about next is our hip hop conversations
Yes.
and top 5 conversations that
Yes.
always seem to come up. Shout out to Trey. Trey is in the
Yep.
building.
From New Orleans.
From New Orleans. So you know he's happy about that. Of course, I mentioned Carlton, Mark. Our girl Wani Lovett
What's
is in the
up, Wani?
building. You know,
Yeah.
there's plenty of people. Y'all are checking in early. Darnell Miller, I see you. But yeah, let's get to it. So Tyler, the Creator,
Yep.
was on, what's Elliot Wilson's
You know what?
show?
I don't know what the name. What is his show? It's
I
was it
think it's
rap? It's
Rap
not Rap
Radar.
Radar.
It's
The
not
Rap
Rap.
Radar.
It's the Rap Radar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Carrie. Carrie's in the building also. So he was on Rap Radar, and Elliot said it. He was like he was recalling trying to bait somebody into a top 5 hip hop, top 5 dead or alive conversation with with an artist, and Tyler quickly deaded that conversation. As a matter of fact, we've got a clip.
We do.
We have a clip of that if you haven't seen it. So here, check it out real quick, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Absolutely.
I tried to debate Tyler last night into the whole, the big best rapper in the game, the big three. They talking about the Drake, Kendrick, Coles. He wouldn't go for it. He says,
Bro,
the only
who
thing
gives a fuck? Hey, and you know what annoys me when people are like, "This is my top 5," and people argue it. Like, you got 17-year-olds like, yeah, like, dude, fucking Ready to Die and Enter the Wu-Tang is my top 10 album ever. I'm like, bro, you just got hair on your dick. Stop. It's performative. It's like, that's your, and again, some people might be right, but I'm like, that's you got young boys and babies out here, and that's your favorite. Like, I don't care about people's objective top nothing. Tell me what is your favorite shit, because you learn so much from people. You get context. I want to know why you think Pookie Dookie's second album is your favorite. Oh, I have memories attached to it. My brother did this when I was young, this and that, did that. In track 7, he talks about this. Found out I was going through it. Like, I want to hear that. I don't care about no objective. Dude, the kids be doing it with me. They do a tier list of like A, B, C, and D of the albums they like of me, and then ask people thoughts. You're asking people their thoughts on what you hold to your heart. What kind of stupid shit is that? That's why I fucking hate rap Twitter, because everything's performative. Everyone is making these lists just to have people engage. Like, who gives a fuck who the top 3 is? Jamiroquai is like my favorite band. I don't know no one that talks about them, and I don't give a fuck, because I enjoy it in my house and in my car. So why the fuck are we sitting here arguing about, oh, you don't got Tupac in your top 5? Nigga, no. I was fucking born when that nigga was at his peak. Like, who gives a fuck? Tell me your personal top 5, because y'all gonna just go in circles.
We back.
So, first of all, what city exactly is MC Pookie Dookie from?
Actually, I think Pookie Dookie would be from, I think it would be from like LA.
LA, you know what? LA, y'all got that. And if somebody does take on the moniker of Pookie Dookie, you need to run Tyler the Creator a check.
Yeah.
Listen, I love that kid.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler the Creator is solid.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I may not have been on the Tyler the Creator train, but I am squarely on the Tyler the Creator train, mostly because of the artist that he is and that he represents whenever we get a chance to see him and hear him speak to the culture and to the arts. And it's such, he just articulated what a lot of us have been thinking for a long time. Whenever we hear those conversations come up about who is in your top 5 dead or alive, it really, for lack of a better term, becomes a circle jerk.
Oh, yeah,
It's the same thing. It's the same people listed over and over again. And I feel like that's what we do here on Q Points, is we specifically, y'all are not going to get the same people that everybody else talks about.
No.
From me. And you're definitely not going to hear the same people from J. Ray, because we have 2 totally different perspectives on this culture. We come from a lot of different intersections, generationally and otherwise. And so I'm just glad that Tyler just finally made space, or at least people will feel like they have permission now to make space and say, you know what? Part of my top 5 is Diggable Planets.
Hey, Ashe.
Ish from Diggable Planets, and MCJB from JJ Fad is in my top 5. So what's up?
Let's argue.
Let's argue about that. But we need. It's okay to have those conversations, because then it looks like the gatekeepers and of the culture are becoming stagnant, and that's not what we want, because of the young people, especially, that are coming up, don't want to talk to us, old heads, because we're having these same conversations over and over again.
Yeah.
So yes, Tyler, you got that.
Well, and what was interesting was he used the Jamiroquai comment at the end. And what's funny about that is there was a Twitter post that we both participated in, where it was like, Jamiroquai or Brand New Heavies, make your pick. And I picked Jamiroquai and you picked Brand New Heavies, and baby, it was fine.
It was just fine. And we picked them for totally different reasons. You were squarely on the technical stuff and the music that Jamiroquai puts out. I was coming from a perspective of, I remember specifically how Brand New Heavies as a band made me feel.
Yep. Completely got it.
From when I graduated in high school, and a song that India Davenport did with Guru. All that stuff was more so about how I felt. And that's what Q Points is about.
Yep.
Honestly.
Speaking of that record just turned 30.
That
record just turned 30. The Jasmine Taz album just turned 30.
I've been out of high school for whoa.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Do the math, y'all. Do the math. But I've been out of high school for 30 years. But you know what? I'm still here.
I want to shout out Kari Wilson, who was like, this with the Pookie Dookie.
Okay.
Is some girl from ATL or New Orleans. Okay, baby.
Fine.
Yes.
Fine. It could definitely happen.
So it was a legend's birthday this week.
Yeah.
Legend's birthday this week. There is a hat. Not that
one. Okay.
There is another hat. It's not up. Kipper must have taken it down. But I said where we are. That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna get there. But Prince had a birthday.
65th. He would have been 65.
Which is so crazy to think that that's still really young. Like he did so much with the time he was here.
He was here, yeah. Thinking of a 65-year-old. See, our vision of a 65-year-old growing up,
right,
was definitely somebody that looked like Martin's mama,
or what's her name from Mama's Family, with the things rolled up, Mama.
Oh, Eunice.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So squarely, that's what we thought growing up 65 would look like. But I guarantee you, if Mr. Nelson was still with us, he would have been up in some 6 inches.
6-inch sneakers, because he wasn't gonna put on no heels.
He may have graduated from the heels onto a sturdy platform.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. But he would have still been like super fly in the way that we still remember him in that. So it was just just a lot to think about, that he would have been 65.
Yeah, man. Darnell, by the way, Darnell Miller in the chat said he was picking Omar as his top artist. Oh, listen, Omar has joints, and I think Darnell confirmed this or not, but Best by Far is now 22 2 years old, maybe. Time be flying
Yeah.
out of here.
And I still play There's Nothing Like This.
Baby,
from
it's a
time to
jam,
time.
and that is over 30 years
That's
old.
definitely over 30 years old. Speaking of that particular song, one of the servers at Rocksteady, where I was playing that song, she came up to me and she was like, "Oh, this is my grandma's song." She was like, I was like, "Excuse me?" She was like, "Oh yeah, my grandma loves this song. My grandma used to play this all the time when I was a kid." I was like,
lady,
wow. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
So, quick note, we're about to jump into our discussion about Brandy. Quick note though, we are off next week. So Sir Daniel is on vacation.
I am out of here, y'all. I'm out of here. Matter of fact, I got to go finish packing right after this.
Yes. So next week there will be no show, but that don't mean you shouldn't tell people about Q Points and share the love. So definitely just kind of share the work next week, and we'll have some posts on socials and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
we won't be completely invisible. But how do we want to start this off? How do we want to start? This is such a real big discussion.
Do you want to tell them how we came to this discussion? Like what the nexus is?
Yeah, what was the nexus of this?
So you were saying that we hadn't done a show focused on Brandy, and then like the two of us, we go on one of our tangents, and then I yelled out, "She was Cinderella for Christ's sake." You know? And because we were talking about, I said, and y'all can fight me, I don't know, but I said that Brandy is the culmination, or is the realization of what the industry wanted Whitney Houston to be. Meaning the industry wanted Whitney Houston to be that triple threat. You know, wanted her to be on your television screens, on your movie screens, and of course, on playing on your radio or on your music player or streaming devices now. And it was a moment we were like, you know what? Yeah.
And I think the added layer to that was that like princess sort of imagery.
Right. And
that
we're going
to girl princess.
The black girl princess image, and we are going to delve into that and the ridiculousness that comes along with trying to fit into that black princess mode. So, are we starting in Mississippi?
Are we right? How about we do this? How about you? Let's do.
Take them on a tour.
We're gonna go on a tour, folks. So I'm gonna grab the microphone here. So sorry for the. All right. So we're going on a tour of where we are in the museum. So over here, I'm actually gonna start here. Oh, this is heavy. So, that'd be lovely. This is Kipper Jones, who wrote "I Want to Be Down." This is an ASCAP Pop Award that Kipper was presented for "I Want to Be Down" as a writer, which is super dope. Up here, this is a 4 million albums sold platinum plaque for the Brandy album.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 million. But what's dope is this is the 1 million plaque over there. So over here in the corner, it's a little bright, but is the 1 million plaque. And there's a picture of the baby single cover over there in the joint, which the B side of that has the "I Want to Be Down" remix on it.
Yep.
So I want to point out one quick thing before we jump into this discussion, because I think it adds a lot of context. So up here in the center, this is from October 22nd, 1994. And this is the week that "I Want to Be Down" hit #1 on the Billboard Hot R&B Singles charts, right? It had been on the charts for 8 weeks. What's really interesting about this entire chart is there are only 2 teenage girls on it. And that is Brandy at #1 and Aaliyah at #3.
Wow.
So our introduction to Brandy and the time when she emerged there just weren't other young Black girls really on the chart. There was no 702 yet. There was no Monica yet. You literally only had Aaliyah and Brandy. And you have, and from a teen perspective, but these are dudes, you have Immature is on the chart.
Yeah.
That's really all you got. Everybody else is a hodgepodge. Interesting fact, this is the first chart where Janet You Want This appears. It's a greatest gainer. It entered the chart at number 20.
I see it. Yeah.
No.
Number 40?
Number 40. It entered the chart at number 40.
Wow.
So that's October 22nd, 1994. So we're talking about the career of Brandy Norwood. We might as well just start. Let's start with our introduction to her, which goes back to some TV stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, our introduction, at least I know my introduction to Brandy was on the Thea show, which was, Thea was, for all intents and purposes, she was that one. She was her star was on the rise. Black female comedian. She's a larger woman, but she still was checking off all the boxes that were, that was popping for comedians at the time. She was provocative. She was sexy in her own way. And she landed, I guess she was doing all the stand-up around the country and did so well that she landed her own television show. Which in itself was a feat that a sitcom in primetime was being with the face of a Black woman.
Absolutely, because we were still in the Cosby era, or it just coming out of
the Cosby era,
at that time. Sure. So that was a huge deal. And so you have this this figurehead is this Black woman who has these children, which
single parent.
Yeah. That's really interesting too, because you're right. Single parent. Now we have come out of the era with the two parent household, and so you get this sitcom, and then you have these actors on the show who are also singers too.
Yeah, because
Jason Weaver
is on who. By himself, Jason Weaver is a whole story all to himself. With a legendary background. All we have to say is the Lion King.
Absolutely,
and that's the only thing we have to say about that. But yeah, so you have these young people on the show, and Brandy Norwood happens to be the sister. Of the group, the girl child of the group, and she's young and she's sassy and she's all the things that that sitcom TV loves. A sassy young girl. Think back to What's Happening.
Absolutely.
Who was the breakout star? Dee. Oh, I'm gonna tell mama, they love a sassy Black girl, but that's cute and other Black girls can relate to. And funny thing, I can't remember that, were they on CBS? I mean, not CBS, ABC. I want to say that I saw a clip of Bill Bellamy and Wendy Raquel on his podcast, and they were talking about how networks would, especially like new networks like UPN, CW, and what's the other? Fox would use a whole ass Black lineup,
absolutely, to build their
audience and their platform, and bring in everybody. And then when they got all the numbers, completely switch it up. So we have Brandy was a part of that for ABC, I'm sure, because after that came what do they call it? TGI Friday.
Thank God,
TGIF on ABC. So Brandy was definitely at the foundation of that, solidifying her as a teen queen.
And so I remember, I didn't see this at the time. I watched Thea a little bit.
I never watched it.
Yeah, I watched it a little bit, but I learned later that there was an episode where, there was kind of a musical performance. And of course, when that happens, and of course, Brandy's family entertainment moguls themselves, right, are like, okay, we got to get her a record deal, right? It makes sense. So Brandy gets this record deal over at Atlantic, and it's funny that we're in this space because the genesis I'll let Kipper, I'm sure, has told the I Want to Be Down creation story ad nauseum. But the important part of the story is, one, in Kipper's mind, the song wasn't for Brandy originally.
That's right.
It was for this woman,
Vanessa Williams,
in his mind, right?
Of course.
And it was Kipper's then production partner, the legendary Keith Crouch, who had a manager who was like, yo, this young girl over at Atlantic wants to demo the song. Demos the song. Kipper loses it. Like, oh my God, where did this person come from? And we get a number one smash. The platinum, the plaque for I Want to Be Down is over in that corner. So we can't see that one. But it's there. And we get this smash hit song. And I'm curious for you, Sir Daniel, what do you think captivated folks about Brandy and I Want to Be Down?
It's clear. It's clear now. So we are firmly in the grips of hip hop.
We are, yes.
We are firmly in the grip of hip hop, and hip hop has definitely, the West Coast has made its claim, has positioned itself as a forerunner in the industry right now for hip hop. Of course, New York is still kind of holding on with the Wu-Tang, and Bad Boy.
Yes.
Bad Boy at the same time is emerging because they got Craig Mack and they've got Notorious Big on the way in, but they're still fighting, clawing their way in. Because of that noise, the background noise of hip hop, I Want to Be Down was a breath of fresh air in that atmosphere. It's a stripped down kind of song. You had that kick and the moog in the background, and you just have Brandy's voice, which is the centerpiece of that song. And then so you have that's the song. But then when you have the video, the video is, it's kind of like this shot of sunshine that we kind of all needed, even as like older teens, almost adults, because it's got these black teens, running around being free. She's got the box braids, so immediately she identifies with all the young girls out there, and she's super cute. She is super cute. Like, she's got the big doughy eyes and brown skin, but she's not overly done it all, because this is pre Britney Spears era. Nobody's got their titties out or anything like that, and they got their cool little dance. So it all worked. It was like, we've got all this rah-rah over here, but then you have this really cool, breezy kind of song. And then, because the song is kind of stripped down, or really it's stripped down. There's not a whole lot of mess going on. That's a playground for DJs.
Yeah.
So DJs are, let me tell you, every DJ, especially if that 12-inch has an acapella on it, or back then, guys, DJs were served with vinyl.
Yes.
And they were served specifically with test pressings that had the whole song on it, and then they had acapellas or instrumentals. So if you had your hands on an acapella, oh man, DJs were going to town and flipping. Well, not flipping. We weren't flipping that. We were just doing live blends. Back then with that. So there was a lot of fun. So Brandy is showing up on mixtapes. She's showing up on mixtapes coming right after a Wu-Tang song. And so she's fitting in. So she's getting the hip hop heads, the R&B heads, teenagers, adults love her. Because she's wholesome and she's cute. So she's poised to win.
To that point, you said something there that I want to pick up on. And I agree with everything that you said. And in particular, you said hip hop heads. The cool thing about I Want to Be Down too is the head nod ability of that song. Like, it's like you lay back in that joint and you be like, And lyrically, it's on point. Kipper, you wrote the hell out of that song. And I'm not saying that because we love you and you're your
Right.
friend. It's just well done, right? And her vocal on that song, even as a 14-year-old at that incredibly high octave, she's really singing.
Yeah.
And
displaying a lot of control.
So there's like training involved in all of this. So I want to, and Trey is saying here, you know, I love Brandy in that album. The lyrics were great and it was memorable and singable. That you can't fight.
You cannot. Songwriters today, there's nothing wrong with people being able to sing along to your songs.
You want it.
You want that. You want people to be able to say, to go to a DJ. Well, don't bother the DJ, but
go to a record store. Go to a record store,
or your
streaming platform,
and
type in the lyrics,
the name, because you know the name of the song. Or nowadays, you can even say the most memorable lyric.
Right. Yep,
and it'll come up. So songwriters, producers, it's okay to write sing-along songs. I promise you, the songs that still stand the test of time and rock a party are the sing-along songs.
Absolutely.
And I Want to Be Down was clearly a sing-along.
Yep.
Masterpiece.
And it is, to this day, because I listen to terrestrial radio a lot more these days, and it is a staple on classic R&B radio.
Oh, for sure.
You could play on classic R&B radio around the world. You are going to hear I Want to Be Down. So you get this introduction, which is an incredibly strong introduction, and then they remix it. And this is after, okay, so this is coming off the heels of Flavor in Your Ear, right? Where we finally understand the power of a posse remix in that way. Flavor in Your Ear was so, like, it opened up so many minds to what is possible, right? So, and you get the closing, so you got everybody on that joint. And then LL does the, like, magnificent closing, right?
Yep.
And then you're like, what just happened? So I Want to Be Down gets remixed with 3 of the biggest women in hip hop of that era.
Yeah. So you brought up the Flavor in Your Ear remix. Who's the director of that video?
Hype Williams.
Who's the director of the I Want to Be Down video? Hype Williams. It's like the zeitgeist, the gods were, really moving things in alignment. Everything was the stars, or everything was in alignment. You're absolutely right. You have a Queen Latifah who has conquered television.
Absolutely. She's Khadijah now.
She's Khadijah. She's setting it off in the movie theaters, and she is squarely a top-notch MC whose pedigree is, you can't mess with it. On that chart, I see Romantic Call featuring Patra featuring Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo is squarely a West Coast favorite. Squarely, she's doing her thing on television as well. And of course, MC Lyte, who sets it off, is at this point of the 3, MC Lyte is the pioneer of the 3. She's like the first of the 3. So she and her reputation is solid. MC Lyte is just that chick, is that girl. So it's like the 3 big sisters
with the little
little sister. You know, they got on it,
the butters,
and the butter leather jackets. Yo, it could have been. They could have filmed that in the middle of the summertime. But the gear, I think that was a whole part of that look too. The gear, everything, the slow motion that Hype Williams was known for at that time. It was just an amazing time for that song. And like I said, for the DJs, that tempo of a song is perfect to remix and perfect to do your blends on for your mixtapes. So she was already featured on the mixtapes. Now you got this remix that could squarely be put in somebody's mix.
Yep.
And it was just a no-brainer. That song was bound to be iconic and legendary.
So what's interesting about this moment in time is because they follow up this with more hits, right? The hits keep coming.
Mm-hmm.
And we end up getting something that I think helps Brandy to start pivoting in an interesting way that helps set up some of this other stuff that happens. And I'm talking about Broken Hearted with Wanye.
Mm-hmm.
So we've now gone through some up-tempo joints and all of that, and then you get this ballad that speaks to the heart of other 15-year-old girls.
For sure.
And then you have Wanye on it, who I Want to Be Down knocked that song out of number one because it was I'll Make Love to You. No, was that? Yeah, I Make Love to You by Boyz II Men was number one, and I had been number one for forever. And I Want to Be Down broke that streak.
It's an A&R's dream.
It's an A&R's dream. And Wanye actually wanted to get on Broken Hearted. That's how that happened. Mm-hmm. And so we get that, and I think that song did a couple of things. It was mature, but it was squarely written for a 15-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it also showed that Brandy could kind of play in that adult contemporary, kind of outside of the R&B lane.
For sure.
That I think sets up all these other things that we start to get over the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. From her now moving into film and some of the other pieces and things that she's done musically.
So you bring up Wanye, who we've discussed Boyz II Men and Wanye in our early shows, discussing because they came out right after Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
And so they were a part of this rush of artists that had no problems like standing flat-footed and singing right there with nothing because everybody wanted to prove that they could bring the vocals. So that means Brandy is standing toe-to-toe with somebody who's already a celebrated vocalist.
Right.
And I think we could bring in this clip of Keke Palmer, who was recently singing Brandy's praises. And I think it's so funny. I think it's funny that we jokingly refer to her as the vocal Bible.
It's true.
But there's so many people that debate that and I think are somewhat offended when you call her the vocal Bible. Some people have called her the vocal Quran. Some people have called her a vocal Jehovah's Witness pamphlet. All kinds of crazy stuff just to be funny and just to be contrary. Excuse me. But I think someone like a Keke Palmer who probably grew up
herself,
who could sing, but who grew up listening to Brandy, had a very interesting take on Brandy as a vocalist and why she is important as a vocalist.
Yep, let's check it out.
Down. Brandy has one of those deceptive voices where you don't really actually even know how high she's going and really how low she can go. She just has a very unique voice, and I think really is the base, kind of groundwork for really any young person today doing R&B. I don't know if everybody realizes that's who they pulling from, but she's the one. People that don't sing, they always don't get the vocal Bible gag, and that's how you know they don't know music. Because if you
Keke, please speak up for the people all the way in the.
When the girls don't know what's going on with Brandy, I'm like, oh.
You have no idea. That's the face you gotta give them.
It's very embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing.
Ooh, I love me some Keke. That's my Virgo sister. And sometimes us Virgos, we're not wrapped too tight. We're telling the truth. We are always telling the truth. But yeah, so Brandy first of all, she comes from the church.
Absolutely.
She comes from the church. And so that training, and we talked about this before. Y'all have got to listen to our archives.
Oh yeah.
There's like a through line to all of this. We talk about church being the training ground for a lot of these premier vocalists.
10,000. Do you get your 10,000 hours before you step foot on somebody's TV?
On somebody's stage, all of that, you have put in hours in the church. And so, she's got all that training, and then look who her idol is.
Yeah.
She's where we've known from the beginning. We knew that Whitney Houston was her icon, was her avatar. And so she did what a lot of people wish they could have done at an early age, was to get to meet her idol and work with her, which I'm sure was an industry move around. They made that happen, I'm sure.
That's fine. She deserved it.
She's Cinderella, for God's sake.
The first black girl to be Cinderella, with her fairy godmother as a black woman being played by Whitney Houston.
The Whitney Houston.
So she can be the vocal Bible because in 1997, she had to be able to stand behind a microphone with Nippy.
You've seen the footage.
You've seen the footage.
Why are you down there?
Why are you down
there? You need to be up here.
You've seen the footage.
You all have seen the footage. So it's kind of like, it would be different if Brandy was like bragging on something that maybe two people saw, but no, we all witnessed it. It's documented, and there are receipts, people. There are receipts. So we know this to be true. So it's kind of like, if she wasn't singing, she couldn't hang with Whitney, basically, if she didn't have the goods. And can we talk about the importance of, we kind of touched on it, but the importance of being the first black teenage Cinderella ever, to not just us in the black community, but to the whole world.
Yep.
And how we're still seeing that today with Halle Bailey playing the Little Mermaid.
It made space for Halle Bailey to do this. It made space.
We just made that connection, guys. But listen, it's true, and I'm pretty certain she was probably facing the same backlash that Halle is facing now. And
we just didn't have social media then to chronicle that.
And can I say this really quick in regards to that? So I saw something that was speaking to the fact that outside of the United States, The Little Mermaid financially has not done well.
Right.
Has not performed, has underperformed.
Yes.
Here in the United States,
yes,
number one movie, bringing in the ducats. Nothing but money is coming in. And people are, the discourse is talking about, well, why, blah, blah, blah. And quite honestly, they've pinpointed these to be in Asian countries, specifically Korea, and I can't remember the other ones, but Korea was definitely brought up, where they figure out because Halle is black.
She's black.
And the movie is underperforming. Here, this is just a Sir Daniel I statement. That portion of the world has already told us how they feel about blackness.
Oh yeah.
They're very clear about how they like blackness. They like blackness on their terms. And as a matter of fact, they would rather perform blackness than to have us actually do the blackness that we were born to do. So it's kind of like, you know what? That's just ingrained in that particular culture. And the only thing we can do is to just continue to support ours. And we supported Brandy.
Brandy, and so she got to do this groundbreaking Cinderella. And then at the same time, she gets to perform with another legend in another film, So Brandy's not only in a film with Whitney Houston, she's also in another TV movie with Diana Ross. And let me tell you who's not a slouch on the acting side of things. It's Diana Ross.
Lady Sings the Blues.
Lady Sings the Blues, Dead's everything, right?
Mahogany.
Everything.
The Wiz.
Everything.
We kind of know who Diana Ross is. Let's just put that to bed.
So you have this going back to your original impetus for kind of thinking about this, right? Brandy is firing on all cylinders. She's got the TV thing. We didn't even get to Moesha. I don't even know if we could talk. We don't even probably have enough time to talk about Moesha.
Most of the
right. So you have TV, you have the music, you have films. But what I love about Brandy is, yeah, she went and did Cinderella, and then the next year got one of the biggest songs to ever happen and this is two black girls, black teen girls, who created a pop anthem together. And so this is after all that success has happened. You get The Boy Is Mine.
Man, lip sync drag shows have never been the same after that. They have never been the same after that. It's just one of those things that that it was earth shifting. You know, it was definitely shifted the culture. But yeah, so now she's solidified. At this point, she's a bona fide superstar. And I know we've been talking about how important it was because in the beginning we were talking about how her image was very important and how it very important for young black girls to look at her and for the black community to embrace her and be like, this is our prize young girl. This is who you need to aspire to be. Now, the only problem with that is that we don't stay children forever.
We grow up.
We absolutely grow up. But imagine, now I know about the dirt I did as a teenager and as a young adult. Imagine doing, not even your dirt, not even going to say that, but experiencing life, your life and your life story. Imagine experiencing that in front of the world and the world just looking at everything you're doing. And so I think it's very interesting. People don't talk about it much more, but there was that hiccup in her career when she got pregnant. And the industry created this whole narrative for her that in order for her to continue, just to save the image, to save face, I guess, create a reality show.
Yeah.
Got these kids to get married and all this other stuff.
But they weren't married. That was the thing. So I had to take a step back.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was thinking of like early 2000s entertainment industry, in particular for black girls, young black women, right? I don't know. Like, there's room for, in 2023, for a young black woman to get pregnant, and we would be like, okay, girl, it's fine.
Listen, look, who just got off that the Super Bowl stage?
Exactly. And did that pregnant,
and she ain't nobody's wife.
Right. So there's room for that now, because absolutely. I think as a society, we've moved. But when I thought about Brandy as a young black woman who has been this pop princess, there are things that are tied to your image.
For sure.
And getting pregnant and that era was different. Because, and this has recently come up with Raven Simone. So Raven Simone apparently was somewhere is like, hey, I used to have people that I dated that had to sign an NDA. And someone put that in interesting perspective. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, Raven Simone, her image deals in children, deals in, younger audiences, right?
Right.
There are just things that she can't have happen
Mm-hmm.
that are regular life things that adults have had. People have sex, people kiss, people do all of these things. But when this is your job, there are certain things you can't have happen. And so I have some empathy for, we don't know what deals were on the table.
Yeah.
We don't know all of the stuff that was tied into Brandy as a good girl, quote unquote. That's in quotes, y'all, for those who are listening. But we don't know what was tied to that image in the early 2000s.
Because at that point, Brandy is a commodity.
Yep.
Brandy may as well have been this speaker right here, sitting on the show. If people aren't buying this anymore, then that means the people that work at the store that sells that, their hours are going to get cut. That means the people that cut the wood and everything for this, their jobs are cut out because nobody wants to buy this anymore because it's got a bad reputation.
Yep.
So, so the industry is looking at you as a commodity and is going to do whatever it takes to cover it up. That's where you get the PR, the publicists, and everybody to do what they need to do. And I love that for the young Black women today, the artists today, like your Rihannas, your Cardi B's.
Yep.
All of these young women can come out here. They can come out. They can come out and perform pregnant.
Yep.
Nobody is hiding behind pillowcases and teddy bears like on television shows. Nobody's doing that anymore. They're not super. That full moon video is crazy. the way they shot it. The way they disguised her stomach is so freaky looking. It's like somebody, how you pinch on your phone, you could pinch something to make it smaller. Somebody in post production pinched her stomach together to make her look narrow, and it looked wild. You guys, you all have to, if you don't know what we're talking about, young people that listening,
it's a jam. Go watch the video.
Please look at that video and look how ridiculous they made that girl look to hide her pregnancy. We don't have to do that. Brandy's body got pinched so Rihanna could stand on the Super Bowl stage with her stomach out. Period.
Yo, wow, that is so true. And so I think we have adequately as well. And by the way, Full Moon is a great album. It is great. So for those of you who are listening, if you are unfamiliar with Full Moon, go back and play that record. In particular, those first 3 Brandy records. My God. Great R&B that transcends the eras in which they were created. And that's true for all 3 of those albums.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have adequately explained why Brandy is the vocal Bible, but I want to seal the deal for people, Sir Daniel. So I'm going to, we're going to share one more thing and we're going to describe it. Okay. So here we go. So what we're looking at on the screen is the cover art for Divas Live 99. And this is from VH1. And we're going to tell you who's in this in the main lineup. Whitney Houston, Cher, Tina Turner,
God bless her life,
Brandy Norwood. That's your top 4.
Let that sink in. First of all, as the kids say, you weren't there. You had to be there.
Yeah.
These were Divas Live was an event.
Yes.
It was squarely an event. Look who is at the bottom.
Let's look who's at the bottom. Let's do this. Let's tell the people who's at the bottom.
We have Mary J. Blige.
So this is the first time we get that. That's when she does that.
That's where it comes from. We get Mary J. Blige. Who else is on? I can't.
Faith Hill.
Faith Hill is a huge country
star.
artist.
Oh my gosh. Shaka Khan.
Shaka Ben Khan. Yes.
LeAnn Rimes, who was having a whole moment.
LeAnn Rimes could possibly be considered the teen country Brandy.
Country Brandy. And our diva friend Elton John.
Listen.
These are the people who are the like second tier performers. Brandy's up there with Tina Turner, Cher, and Whitney V. Houston.
Her godmother.
Her godmother. So the industry gets it. The industry has gotten it.
Yeah.
Kipper got it. Like
musicians
get it. When Kipper told that story, he was like, she demoed the song. And I was like, whoa, where did she come from? At 14.
14 years old.
So this is the establishment of why Brandy is a legend. Deserves all her flowers. It was really weird when Jack Harlow didn't know what her voice sounded like.
And we said that.
We did say that. We got a clip of that. Or we're going to play this clip. We can play this clip. We're going to watch this clip from when this is back in the olden days. We're joined by Adrienne Austin, host of Adrienne's Playlist of Conversations, also huge Whitney Houston fan. So Adrienne was with us when we happened to have this conversation about Jack Harlow. Here's what we had to say at the time.
Plenty of performers who are Black, plenty of people who are Black, who are a certain age group that are using this excuse that because they were born in a certain era, that everything that happened prior to them being born just doesn't exist to them. And I just don't buy it. Learn what this music, this industry, this artistry, this culture, learn what it's built on, especially if you want to be an active participant in it. And that's it. That's all I want to say.
In the situation that you're speaking on, or the flub, is him not knowing the 23andMe of Brandy Norwood, right?
Correct.
And okay, so to piggyback off of that, know your history, but also know your place, right? And if someone asks you a question that you don't know, when I was in church choir, and someone was singing the wrong note next to me, I'm like, you can't be strong and wrong. When in doubt, fade out. Right? That's what we would always say. When in doubt, fade out. So he should have taken this opportunity to be like, that's not my business. I mind the business that pays me. That's not paying me. But, I have a question. Would you rather have him or Post Malone?
I'd rather have Jesus.
I'm going to fade out.
Absolutely. See, right. I'd rather be blind, Etta James, right? Blind and deaf. I'd rather be blind and deaf. Yeah, but I also think it's like you said. It's just not white rappers or performers. I find the music to be incredibly lazy, and I find the listeners to be lazy. Like it's just like they just want to churn something out, and they don't know the history, and that's a problem. Like how can you not know the original sample? I think I was on TikTok and someone was saying how Anaconda, they were thinking that's the original, and it's like, I'm sorry, what? Like, no, the original, because the original was actually much better than what she did.
So to kind of piggyback on this, so we are talking about Jack Harlow appearing on Hot 97, them playing Angel in Disguise by Brandy, and he didn't recognize Angel in Disguise. And for me, I was absolutely like, I can kind of get that. I can kind of get it. Now, where he lost me was when Brandy's voice came in, and I'm like, okay, now I'm not with you no more, because her voice is actually distinct, and you are old enough to know who Brandy is.
Didn't we just have this? We had this conversation last week, right? With the young lady that didn't know about the area codes, and And that was what, last year that we had that conversation?
That's on YouTube too. So y'all can check out that clip on YouTube where we talk about Area Codes by Cali, which is a dope track. We ain't got no beef with the song, but she didn't know that it's based on Ludacris and Nate Dogg's Area Codes.
Here's what these young people or young artists are doing. They're having these thoughts, and the thoughts are escaping their mouths and fingertips in front of not just like, say, you and I talking, but in front of millions of people. That's where, like Adrian said, when in doubt, fade it out.
When in doubt, fade out.
If you don't know, I think I said this, Jack Harlow should, in the words of Tiffany New York Pollard, these young people should have just sat there and ate their food. If you don't know, be quiet. But so yeah, that's that on that.
That's that on that. Really quickly, I want to bring in this statement by Darnell because it is a mic drop and it is very true. Full Moon brought in the era of her being the vocal Bible.
Yeah.
True. Producers and singers to this day chase the way those vocals are done on that project. Just listen to Kiki Sheard's first few albums. This is absolutely true. And we've said this. Essentially, all the singers today are, the dudes and the women, are mimicking some version of Brandy from the Full Moon era. We love that record. We love Brandy from that era. But baby, I want y'all to get your own styles too.
Anytime I hear somebody starting off in the basement and then they build up to a crescendo and doing a lot of tight face clenched runs, y'all, you got that from Brandy. You got that from Brandy, and and she basically mothered all of y'all.
Yeah,
she basically mothered all of you, and that's okay because we get it. We get it. So, but you're gonna have to give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
That's all. And Carlton makes a wonderful point that her musical relationship with Rodney Jerkins is definitely took everything to another level. Yeah. So that again, singer relationships, producer artist relationships are super important.
Yeah.
And that can't be stressed enough. So I think we've made our case.
We have made our case
that Brandy is in fact the vocal Bible, and she is the American Idol.
Yeah.
Like, for all intents and purposes, she is a standard artist. She is a gold standard artist that a lot of young people can aspire to be like, and there's no shade in that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's okay to, when you're gleaming, when you're trying to make your way, it's okay to reference the past. See what works. There's nothing wrong with seeing what worked while you're trying to forge your own way. And you make it yours, because you're not gonna, no matter what you do, no matter how many runs you copy, you're never gonna be this person.
Right.
So your individualness and individual style is gonna come out at some point.
Yes.
But just develop it. That's all these young people had. They developed who they were over the years.
And to that point, if we look at who Brandy is today, there's that other great clip of her and Jasmine Sullivan where she like, teach me that run again. And Jasmine is like, oh, the one where Brandy's like, the one where you low. Yeah. And then you go up, and they do it and they mimic each other. And Jasmine gets so excited when Brandy repeats it back, right? She's learning too. So she's getting inspired from people that she inspired. Listen, y'all. Thank y'all so, Carlton, she's the almanac of vocals, right? So listen, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining Sir Daniel and I for this magic conversation where we got a chance to revisit.
Absolutely. And can I make one other observation?
Please.
How fly is it that both of us are representing two super dope indie artists that we both know who are killing it in the game? I'm repping Rob Wilson on the t-shirt, and you are repping DDM. I mean,
and Rob Milton has a new EP out right now, so y'all should go and buy it.
Absolutely,
Stream it too, but buy it and then stream it.
And DDM is out here touring and dancing with Janelle Monáe at listening parties and whatnot, being a complete rock star. So that's that. Please check out everybody. Where can people check us out, listening?
Folks, if you are sitting here and you are some of our listeners and you are watchers and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Please go ahead and share the show. Let the folks know what we talked about today. We just talked about the vocal Bible, Miss Brandy Norwood. Mm-hmm. We got props. We giving y'all props and things. Shout out to, once again, we just need to send love to Kipper Jones, who is allowed us to be in his office. And so this is great that we got a chance to do this here. And this was not planned like that. It just so happens that I was here and Sir Daniel was like, can we do this show?
Ask me if we can go in that studio and have them plaques behind us. That's gonna be lit.
Yes, and he loved that idea. So share, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and visit qpoints.com. Click the subscribe button and become an insider. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
J. Ray, what do I always say? In this life, you have a choice. You could either let the record play, or you could pick up the needle, or you can wait. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I'm just so hyped over this.
You're ready for vacation.
I'm ready for vacation. Listen, y'all. I'm about to go finish packing and I'm out of here. You know what the deal is. We'll catch you on the next go round. I'm Sir Daniel.
I'm J. Ray, y'all.
Peace. We'll see you on the next go round.